You won't believe how these lottery winners transformed their lives after hitting the jackpot. But what exactly do they do with their newfound fortunes? Let's dive in and discover. Number 10. The single mom who won millions. In an extraordinary tale of luck and life change, a single mother reveals her journey after winning over $18.3 million in the lottery. Her story, shared anonymously on Mumsnet, begins with a moment of disbelief. "I checked my ticket a few days after winning. I then checked online and nearly fell out of my chair," she recalls. This huge win wasn't immediately followed by extravagant actions. She composed herself and finished her workday, only calling the lottery office afterwards. Her first actions post-win were grounded and heartwarming. She informed her son and celebrated with a dinner, marking the beginning of a new chapter. However, the transition wasn't immediate. "I didn't quit my job straight away and worked a couple more months," she shared, indicating a measured approach to her newfound wealth. The lottery win led to significant lifestyle changes. She indulged in luxury, buying 50 handbags from Mulberry, a reflection of her transformed financial status. More significantly, she bought her first house, fulfilling a lifelong dream. Yet with great wealth came unexpected challenges, particularly in her personal relationships. "The only thing I would have changed was not telling anyone," she admits. The fallout with family members over money was a harsh reality she faced, losing contact with many due to entitlement and greed. Despite these challenges, she found purpose in community work, stating, "I'd probably die of boredom if I didn't do volunteering," highlighting her desire to stay active and contribute to society. Financially, she took careful steps by opening a private bank account and hiring financial advisors and accountants, ensuring her fortune was well managed. However, our next lottery winner wasted no time in quitting her job. Number 9. Julie Leach. From factory supervisor to multimillionaire. In a stunning twist of fate, Julie Leach discovered her life-changing $310 million Powerball win. The 50-year-old supervisor at Aquatic Bathware in Three Rivers, Michigan, made this discovery in a McDonald's drive-thru. Her ordinary worknight transformed into a revelation of fortune. Leach's routine at the fiberglass factory, where she had devoted 23 years of her life, was interrupted by a really bad night at work. This disruption led her to check her lottery numbers during a lunch break. The winning numbers 21, 39, 40, 55, and 59, with Powerball number 17, matched hers, but the reality of her win didn't sink in immediately. "I was having a really bad night at work, and I thought I better check my numbers," she recalled. Upon confirming her win with the help of her coworkers, Leach's reaction was swift and decisive. "I quit automatically. I was done," she stated, marking a sudden end to her long-term employment. The overwhelming nature of her win led to over 30 hours without sleep. Opting for a lump sum, Leach received $197.4 million, amounting to $140 million after taxes. This staggering amount marked Michigan's second-largest lottery prize. The ticket, purchased at the Three Rivers West Shell gas station, was a gamble that paid off beyond expectations. From a factory supervisor enduring a tough night shift, her life was about routine and hard work. Suddenly, she became a multimillionaire with the freedom to leave her job instantly. Her experience vividly illustrates the surreal transformation brought by lottery wins. For our next lottery winner, her luck had a surprising twist to it. Number 8. Yannick's unexpected jackpot. Yannick, an Aurora, Colorado resident, experienced a twist of fate that many can only dream of. Winning a $3.3 million jackpot was still a surreal reality for her when she visited the Denver claims office a week after her lottery success. This remarkable story began with the purchase of a winning ticket at King Supers on South Havana in Aurora, leading to a win of $3,312,287. Interestingly, Yannick's lottery win came just after she resigned from her job as a certified nursing assistant, a role she had departed without a clear plan ahead. "My last day was January 17th, but I didn't have anything lined up yet," Yannick shared, highlighting the lucky timing of her win. Her journey to this life-changing moment wasn't short-lived. It was the result of over 30 years of playing the lottery. The disbelief that followed her win was shared by her husband, Bruce. Initially thinking it was a practical joke, Bruce said, "I was highly suspicious, but then I thought, there's no way she could mock up their whole website." This skepticism turned into astonishment as the reality of the win sunk in. Yannick, along with her husband and their 3 sons, decided to opt for 25 annuity payments. Despite the magnitude of their win, their plan remained grounded and practical. The state lottery officials revealed that the couple intends to use their newfound wealth to pay bills and make home improvements. Like Yannick, fate worked in favor of the next winner on our list as well. Number 7. Christy Davis's $70 million Powerball win. Christy Davis, a 40-year-old resident of Waterford, Michigan, experienced a life-altering moment when she won an amazing $70 million Powerball jackpot. Her win was the result of an impulsive decision to buy lottery tickets with a friend at Huron Plaza Liquor in Pontiac. This stroke of luck ended her days of living paycheck to paycheck. Davis matched all 5 numbers, 14, 47, 54, 55, and 68, with Powerball number 25. She opted for a one-time lump sum payout, which, after taxes, amounted to about $36 million. This significant win opened up a world of possibilities for Davis and her family. The realization of her win was as dramatic as the win itself. While at work, a FaceTime call from a friend led Davis to check her ticket. "After I checked it, all I could do was scream," she recalled, describing the moment that attracted the attention of her coworkers. Her boss even arranged for someone to drive her home, given her shock. Before the win, Davis's life was filled with financial challenges. Living with her grandmother in Waterford, she constantly faced car problems. These issues consumed a significant part of her paycheck. Now, with millions in her bank account, she felt a sense of relief. She looked forward to purchasing a new vehicle and a house on her own. "I don't have to struggle anymore," she said. This statement highlighted the profound impact of the win on her daily life. Davis's plans included buying a new house and moving out of her grandmother's place. She also intended to invest the rest of her winnings to ensure financial security for her children and grandchildren. Youssef Antou, the owner of the store that sold the winning ticket, was also overjoyed, receiving a $50,000 commission for his role in Davis's fortune. He planned to share this bonus with his employees and church, as well as to improve his store. Davis's win was notable for being the 5th Powerball jackpot won by a Michigan lottery player and the 2nd major win by a resident from Waterford. "Winning has caused me to feel overwhelmed, grateful, and relieved all at once," said Davis, summing up her emotions about the newfound wealth. Sometimes, the lottery can come with bitterness too, and our next winner can attest to this. Number 6. Randy Rush's $37 million lottery win. Randy Rush's journey after winning $37 million in the Alberta, Canada lottery in 2015 is a touching example of how sudden wealth can dramatically alter personal relationships and life trajectories. Rush's win came unexpectedly on a routine trip to buy cat food. The winning ticket was the last in a stack he purchased. This unforeseen moment marked the beginning of a profound change. "It still felt like I was taking off in a spaceship." He described the surreal experience of winning. He received the entire amount directly into his bank account, as is the policy in Canada for lottery winnings. Without any advice on managing such a massive sum, Rush decided to take matters into his own hands. He quit his job and diversified his investments into charity projects, real estate, and hedge funds. He also moved out of Alberta to avoid confrontations, including with a neighbor who started demanding money. However, Rush's win wasn't without its downsides. The influx of wealth led to sleepless nights and constant phone calls. Even more distressingly, it strained his close relationships. His mother demanded half of his winnings, severing their relationship when he refused. "I lost a 43-year friendship over it," he revealed, highlighting the isolating power of money. The most harrowing experience involved his best friend and an investment scam. Rush's friend's son pitched a company, claiming it would be the next Facebook. Rush invested $3.4 million, only to find out it was a scam, and his money had been used for his friend's lavish expenses. This betrayal led to a legal battle, which he eventually won, retrieving his money. Reflecting on his experience, Rush noted, "Winning the lottery has changed my life for the better, but it did really show me the true colors of people around me." Rush is not the only one with a bad winning experience. Number 5. Father's lottery win leads to family breakup. The story of a lottery winner's daughter shared through a BuzzFeed submission reveals the darker consequences of winning a substantial amount of money. This tale contrasts the often glorified narrative of lottery wins, showcasing the personal chaos it can cause. The anonymous woman shares the story about her father, who experienced a profound change after winning a significant sum in an office lottery. This transformation ultimately led to the breakdown of their family. "My dad won a good amount of money. I started seeing less and less of him," she recounts. The sudden wealth appeared to drastically inflate her father's ego. He eventually left his wife for another woman. However, this decision led to unforeseen consequences. Within a few years, he found himself abandoned and alone. "The other woman wanted nothing to do with him, and he tried coming back to us. But my mom had moved on," the woman reveals. The father's regret over winning the lottery is notable. "He said to me several times that he regrets winning that money," the daughter says. Her sentiment reflects the experiences of other lottery winners who have found their winnings to be more of a curse than a blessing. Sometimes, decisions made after a win can be too hasty. This is what happened to the next person on our list. Number 4. Office lottery pool winners regret. In an intriguing turn of events, members of an office lottery pool quit their jobs after winning a significant prize. However, they later found themselves in a mess, leading them to seek re-employment. This story was shared by a manager who was not present at the time of the win. According to the manager, the lottery win became a big problem for the winners. Some of the employees, now desperate for cash, returned to ask for their jobs back. This situation presented a dilemma for the company, especially for Mary, a once junior worker who did not participate in the lottery pool and has since risen through the ranks. Mary expressed concerns about potential bitterness from her former colleagues who had won the lottery. The manager noted that some of the winners regretted spending all of their winnings, while others dreaded the thought of having to work again after years of financial freedom. Financial experts and lawyers often advise lottery winners to avoid making hasty career decisions. A panel of advisors suggested considering part-time employment or pursuing a dream career. This story highlights the contrast between the sudden wealth of a lottery win and the steady career growth of someone like Mary, highlighting the importance of sensible financial and career planning. On the other hand, for some people, quitting jobs after a lottery is a dream come true. Number 3. $2.5 million Victorian lottery winner. In a story of sudden wealth, a man from Victoria, Australia experienced a life-altering moment. He won a massive $2.5 million in the Tats Lotto. This event unfolded in the small town of Bradford, Victoria, during a Saturday lotto draw on September 2, 2023. However, the journey to claiming his prize was full of suspense, as his unregistered ticket required verification from lottery officials. Once confirmed, the Victorian resident, who chose to remain anonymous, made a decision that many fantasize about, but few dare to execute. He quit his job on the spot. Free from the constraints of a 9-to-5 routine, he embraced newfound freedom. Beyond personal liberation, his plans were selfless. He intended to secure a better future for his children and others around him. His first agenda item was paying off his children's mortgages. He then planned to perform acts of generosity for those in his life. The story of this Victorian winner doesn't stand alone. Many lottery winners have found themselves in similar situations, making drastic changes to their lives. For instance, Denise and Robert Scarr, a UK couple who won $9.6 million in 2015, also quit their job shortly after their win. Their dream of traveling the world became a reality, showcasing how lottery wins can open doors to long-held dreams. Jasmine Rooney had a similar experience. Winning $362,000 was enough for her to leave a job where she had a difficult relationship with her boss. Although not a millionaire, the amount was sufficient for her to step away from a job that no longer brought joy. Dean Wames, a 24-year-old Amazon employee, discovered he had won $4.4 million. He made the decision to leave his job. This win meant leaving a decent job, but it offered an opportunity to support his brother with severe autism and pursue his dream of becoming a screenwriter. The luck doesn't end here. Our next winner has quite the success story too. Number 2. Washington woman wins $90 million Powerball jackpot. Lisa Quam, a Washington state resident, became an instant multi-millionaire when she won a stunning $90 million Powerball jackpot. This was her first ever lottery ticket purchase. This extraordinary stroke of luck was announced after Quam purchased her winning ticket at a grocery store in Auburn, south of Seattle. Her success story is particularly notable as she became the first Powerball jackpot winner in Washington state. The moment of discovery was filled with excitement and disbelief for Quam and her family. She recounted the experience, saying, "I yelled to my family, 'Get up here!' They all thought she was mad and angry about something. Her daughter asked, 'Is this an emergency?' And Quam replied, 'Yes.' This reaction highlights the sheer astonishment and joy that accompanies such a life-changing win. Quam, who was employed at Boeing at the time of her win, decided to leave her job in the wake of her newfound fortune. She expressed her sentiments in an email to her colleagues and friends at work, stating, "What a pleasure it was to work with them." She added, "Check the news today, and they'll come to an understanding of why I'm writing this note." Her decision to quit was coupled with plans for practical and indulgent expenditures. When it came to choosing how to receive her prize, Quam was undecided between a lump sum or an annuity of 30 payments. The lump sum would amount to approximately $56.8 million. Despite the grand scale of her win, her plans remained grounded and relatable. She mentioned, "We have student loans just like every family. House repairs," she added. "Maybe we'll buy a house for one of the kids," indicating a desire to use her winnings for financial burdens and to support her family. Quam's intention to travel more and her desire for a new Subaru Forester reflect her practical nature and the freedom her jackpot win has afforded her. Her story is a remarkable example of how a single, spontaneous decision can lead to a life-altering outcome. However, some people are more than content with their lives, even before lottery wins. Number 1. The New Zealand Powerball winner. In a remarkable departure from the typical lottery winner narrative, an Auckland, New Zealand woman who won $19.1 million in the Powerball has chosen to maintain her regular lifestyle. She continues her job and keeps her modest car, which is a story of humility and generosity. This narrative proves that wealth doesn't necessarily equate to a complete life overhaul. The woman won in October and has found greater satisfaction in helping others rather than indulging in extravagant personal spending. She purchased her dream home, a goal many aspire to. Despite this, she's continued to work the same job and even kept her old $2,000 car. The win has changed our lives so much, but a few things remain the same. We still work in the same jobs, but now we don't work for the money, we do it for the passion," she told the New Zealand Herald. Her generosity extends beyond her immediate circle. She's made significant contributions to the Salvation Army and the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. This represents the spirit of giving back to the community. "One of the best things about winning the Powerball is being able to make a difference and give back to the community," she expressed. She highlighted the joy derived from philanthropy. In New Zealand, about 85% of Powerball winners continue working, finding a balance between enjoying their wealth and keeping part of their former lives. While 81% buy new houses and 75% go on international holidays, a significant 50% also contribute to charities. The most unanimous decision among these winners is to help family and friends, with 100% of them choosing to share their fortune in this way. We've seen how lottery wins can transform lives in unexpected ways. But what if you could tilt the odds in your favor? Curious about how to boost your chances of hitting that Powerball jackpot? We've got you covered. Number 10. The Amazon worker. Back in 2019, a 24-year-old worker on Amazon's transport team hit the jackpot. His name was Dean Wames. On a regular July day, Dean decided to check his lottery numbers during a work break. Just imagine his happiness when he found out he had won $4.4 million in the lottery. Dean played it cool at first. He didn't want to alarm anybody. After checking his lottery numbers, he immediately left for home saying that he was sick. Then the next day, he strutted back, not to clock in, but to say adios to his job. In the HR office, he was asked to fill out his resignation form. This form also requires you to quote the reason for leaving. And guess what Dean wrote? He actually wrote that he won the lottery. You can imagine the double takes from HR, thinking it was a classic prank. Yet Dean's win was no joke. After quitting his job, Dean went to claim his prize. Dean chose an annuity payment over a lump sum and secured himself a smooth $12,000 monthly for 30 years. This was definitely a smart move, because now he doesn't have to work ever. But the best part of Dean's story is that he decided to use his prize money for a good cause. He aimed to support his brother, who's battling with severe autism. Other than that, he always dreamt about becoming a screenwriter. So now that he has financial freedom, he's also focusing on fulfilling his dream. Who knows, he might craft some blockbusters for Amazon Studios. It's all about passion and free time, and Dean has both. While Dean took his sweet time before handing in his resignation, this next lottery winner didn't waste a second. Number 9. Quit at lunch. Jasmine Rooney, like a lot of us, often fantasized about the day she could confidently walk into her boss's office and quit without looking back. And guess what? Jasmine actually made that dream a reality. The lucky day came one March afternoon in 2017. There she was, on her lunch break, casually deciding to enter an online lottery. It was a free entry, so she thought, why not? She wasn't expecting much. But lucky for her, those clicks on her screen turned her world upside down. Jasmine won a whopping $362,000. Now, sure, $362,000 isn't hitting the millionaire mark, but for Jasmine, it was a fortune, especially considering the rough patch she was going through at work. That very day, she had had a blowout with her boss, the kind that leaves you wondering why you're even there. At that time, she was frustrated, so this lottery win felt like the universe handing her an escape ticket. She didn't waste a moment. Telling her colleagues she was out for good, Jasmine dropped her resignation then and there. Now, it's not like she was thinking of living the high life or never working again, because even she knew the money wasn't that much. But still, it offered Jasmine a golden chance to walk away from a job that had stopped bringing her any happiness. And she took it, without a second thought. While Jasmine won just enough to quit her miserable job, this next winner won an amount that could not just free them from their regular 9-to-5 job, but also fulfill every dream on their wish list. Number 8. The World Tour. Denise and Robert Scar are a UK couple who got the shock of their lives in the spring of 2015. They won the lottery. £6.3 million, folks! That's about $7.8 million if you calculate in dollars. Can you even imagine the wave of shock and joy hitting them? This win was their ticket to a life they'd only daydreamed about. Before hitting this gold mine, they were your average couple. Robert used to work at a quarry, and Denise worked at a local homeware store. Their lives were the definition of routine, filled with daily hustles. However, everything flipped when they found out they were millionaires on a seemingly normal Saturday. After giving it enough thought for 2 days, Denise and Robert handed in their resignations first thing Monday morning. Sayonara to the daily grind of quarries and retail. They packed their bags for a future filled with adventure. And guess what their destination was? The entire world. They decided to go on a world tour. They'd fantasized about cruising the seas, exploring new countries, and learning about different cultures. The only thing holding them back before was the price tag. But with a bank account now brimming with money, they were ready to make those dreams a reality. Like Denise and Robert, this next lucky couple also got to quit their jobs and enjoy the life of their dreams. Number 7. Lucky at 64. There lives a 64-year-old man in Arkansas who won a jackpot last September. He used to live like an average Joe, but he became a millionaire overnight by winning $5.75 million. The most interesting thing is how he chose his winning numbers. He revealed that he had chosen a mix of personal numbers. First of all, his birthday, then the age difference between him and his wife, then a couple of old street numbers, the age he lost his dad, and even his son's birth year. This weird combo turned out to be lucky for him. So one day he was at work, just minding his own business when bam! An email popped up on his computer screen telling him he'd won the lottery. You can imagine his shock, right? He was squinting at his screen, thinking it was a prank or something, but nope, it was the real deal. He asked his friend to confirm his win. Even his friend couldn't believe him, so he ran it by his boss, who confirmed it. He was officially a millionaire. His boss probably chuckled at that time and told him to hit the road, go home and break the news to his wife. And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to quit the job and he wanted his wife to do the same. But his wife, she was a hard-working, nose-to-the-grindstone type. Not exactly ready to hand in the resignation for beachside cocktails just because of the lottery. She wanted to get her semi-retirement prize, but our lucky winner, he was dreaming bigger. He wanted her to quit with him and really enjoy this newfound freedom, to live the life they'd always wanted but never thought they could afford. As for the rest of their story, did his wife agree with him and quit her job? Well, we don't know about that. The couple stayed anonymous and didn't reveal any further details. But one thing is for sure, winning that lottery was a game changer that flipped their world, all with a few significant numbers. While this couple was just thinking about themselves when they won the lottery, this next winner used their big break to help everyone around them. Number 6. Broadford's Big Break. Over in the small town of Broadford, Victoria, a regular guy hit the jackpot in a way that was anything but ordinary. On a day that started like any other, he found out he had won 2.5 million USD thanks to the Tats Lotto. It all went down on September 2nd, 2023, during the Saturday Lotto draw, and just like that, his world got a whole lot brighter for him. But hold up, there was a problem. His ticket wasn't registered, which meant he couldn't just waltz in and claim his millions. The officials at the lot had to do their detective work to make sure the ticket was legit. It was a heck of a stressful day for this winner, knowing you were potentially a millionaire but having to wait on the official confirmation. When he finally got the green light, the emotional roller coaster was real. He was filled with joy, barely believing his luck. However, despite the windfall, he chose to keep it on the down low and insisted on staying anonymous. His big plan was to change his life for good without broadcasting his millionaire status to the world. Guess what he did first? Well, he ditched his job. Just like that, he decided the 9-to-5 grind wasn't for him anymore. But this guy didn't go on a spending spree after that. He had a vision of paying it forward. He decided to share his windfall with his kids and the community around him. Step 1 was wiping out his children's mortgages. Beyond that, he revealed that he had plans to spread the wealth, making a positive impact on those in his circle. As far as we know, this Broadford local was geared up to change others' lives for the better too. Even though he decided to help everyone around him, his incredible luck was his alone, and he was the only one who quit that day. But what if the whole staff wins and the whole staff leaves? Number 5. Group Goodbye. Let us tell you about the 9 buddies who used to work together on the assembly floor at Guelph's Linamar Corporation. They were like BFFs who not only worked together every day, but also shared a little gambling adventure. Each of them would chip in $5 now and then to buy lottery tickets, with a pact to only play when the jackpot soared above 50 mil. Why aim small when you can dream big, right? Up until their big win, they had only given it a shot 3 or 4 times. It was maybe beginner's luck, especially for Mussy Colletti and Ella Nicole Cabrera, who had just joined the pool that week. Imagine joining a lottery pool and hitting the jackpot the same week. Yes, that's what happened. Granadino, one of the crew members, heard from someone else that the winning ticket was sold right in Guelph. This news got everyone excited in the crew. Granadino rang up Fernando Meneses to check their numbers. Meneses initially thought they had won a modest $6,000, but they were in for a shock. When they checked their ticket the second time, they got to know they weren't looking at thousands, but millions. You can picture the scene: disbelief, checking, rechecking, and even a bit of healthy skepticism toward the lottery app. They couldn't believe their eyes. It took a meticulous check of the winning numbers for reality to hit them. They were the big winners. What's the first thing they did with this life-altering news? The very next day, all 9 of them showed up at the factory and handed in their resignation letters. It was a moment of mixed emotions, yet the win was their golden ticket to opportunities too good to pass up. Just like how this lottery saved the crew from working a hard job, this next winner's windfall saved her from a dangerous and demanding job. Number 4. Factory to Fortune. This is the story of Julie Leach, whose day-to-day was dominated by a grind at a fiberglass factory. It was tough, the work was hard and dangerous, and leaving was not in the cards, until a lunch break changed her life. One day, Julie checked her Powerball numbers, and guess what she saw? She had hit all the numbers and won a mind-blowing $310 million. Just like that, her life changed forever. Without skipping a beat, Julie decided to quit her job. The factory's long, grueling days were over. Buying lottery tickets was routine for Julie. It was like a little hope tucked into her daily life. She never truly expected the jackpot, yet here she was, plotting out her next moves with a hefty sum in the bank. But Julie's vision went beyond personal gain. She dreamt of buying a big piece of land, which would later become a gathering spot for her family, a place where her kids and grandkids could thrive together. Debt repayment and traveling the world with her husband were also on her wish list, and so she made it happen. Gone were the days of the harsh factory work. Julie was now living a dream she hadn't dared to fully envision before. Julie was really lucky to win enough money to quit her dangerous job. This next person was also lucky, yes, but just for a short amount of time. Number 3. Live TV letdown. Natalia Escudero was living the best of her journalism life in Valencia, and then one day she got the shock of her life. This one time in 2019, she was covering Spain's El Gordo in 2019. This lottery had a prize pool that had hit the billion mark. 2.24 billion euros to be exact, or 2.41 billion if we count in USD. So there she was, doing her live TV thing, and at that moment she realized she was holding a winning ticket herself. El Gordo revealed that they would give $434,000 per winning ticket that year, and Natalia had the golden number 26590 in her hand. But here's where it gets twisty. El Gordo has this unique way of dividing the prize pie among its winners, something Natalia was about to learn the hard way. At that time, Natalia was so caught up in her happiness that she blurted out on live TV she would be quitting her job the next day. Her newsroom buddies cheered her on from afar. It was a crazy scene. Everyone around her was chanting and jumping with excitement. Natalia even interviewed another winner and discussed with her what they would do with their windfall. And then guess what happened next? 40 tickets shared the final prize. The bubble burst when Natalia found out her slice of the jackpot was a mere 5,000 euros. Yeah, just 5,400 US dollars. Now, here's the deal. A full El Gordo ticket sets you back 200 euros, but people often grab a decimo, which is a tenth of a ticket, for a more wallet-friendly $21. Natalia's win? It was on a decimo. So she didn't get as much money as she was expecting. The next time she hit the screen, she was back to her day job. She even did a cheeky zip the lip sign. No mega millions here, just a modest bump. She even hit Twitter to clear the air, worried her lotto hype might eclipse her 25-year career in journalism. While Natalia was not so lucky and had to work the same job again, these friends got to live her dream. Number 2. 4 coworkers. In 1994, something pretty wild happened to 4 coworkers at Irvine Insurance Company in California. They hit the lottery jackpot and won $20 million. These 4 coworkers weren't just colleagues though, they were like a family who always played the lottery together. And guess what? Their solidarity paid off big time. After taxes, the 4 friends got to split $6.8 million, which broke down to annual checks of $85,250 each for the next 20 years. It was way more than what they were making at the company. Winning that jackpot was their cue to resign from their day jobs. Their departure was so sudden that the Irvine branch felt the loss instantly. They practically lost an entire department overnight. Their boss was in disbelief at that moment. He even made a joke that they would bounce back once the excitement settled. But nah, they had all their lives planned out. Why go back when the win handed them more cash than their paychecks ever could? Each had plans that were way cooler than any office gig. 2 of them decided to spend the money on their weddings and honeymoons. Then there was an aspiring novelist in the group who decided to fly over to Paris with her hubby and pursue her dream of becoming a novelist. As for the 4th, he always dreamt about having a home-built music studio, so that's what he invested his money in. Blues music was calling his name. All in all, coming back to their old desks was not on their mind. But they did not cut ties completely. They promised to return and teach the work to the newbies. While these 4 friends didn't even forget their old boss after hitting the jackpot, this next winner ditched her entire family. Number 1. The secret winner. Let's hear the story of a single mom who shared her wild lottery tale on Mumsnet. She anonymously told the readers that she won 14 million pounds, which is about 17 million bucks in US currency. She further revealed that this bombshell dropped while she was at work. She had casually tuned into the radio, and that's when she heard her numbers called out. It was a nearly fell out of my chair moment, but she played it cool. She did not want to alarm anyone at the office. She played it so cool, in fact, she didn't sprint to the lottery office but waited until she got home to make the call. Celebrations? Nope. She just went on a low-key dinner with her son. And unlike the other winners on her list, she didn't bolt from her job immediately. It took her a few months to decide to hand in the resignation. Not even her relatives knew she had won. So what did she do with her money? Well, she splurged on 50 Mulberry handbags and even bought her dream house. But why not tell family and friends about her big win? Well, she knew they would turn greedy and want a piece of her prize, which she wasn't ready to share. Nowadays, she's given back. She volunteers a few days a week. It's her way of staying grounded and filling the void left by those she had to let go. Now you know what's the first thing most lottery winners do after winning the jackpot. But is this the right thing to do? Not exactly. There are 10 other things you have to do before you hand in your resignation. Otherwise, you might end up losing all your money. Watch our next video to find out what 10 things we're talking about.